The Punch TV.
What can go wrong? But I found it also fascinating to broadcast in Twi, because we generally have this perception that you were below average if you broadcast in Twi. You were not up to journalistic or broadcasting standards. But I was like, Charlie, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's see.
Who contacted you from, Peace FM to actually move? And what was the first thing that crossed your mind when you got that offer that move from English to Twi?
It was actually the owner of Despite Media.
Wow.
Yeah. We had spoken, we met 2 years prior in '98. I was hosting an event at the National Theatre. And he told me that I had this plan and I think you're part of the plan. And then it fizzled out. The conversation didn't continue beyond that. And then he started it the following year. And a year after, well, just about a year after, I got a phone call one day and it's him on the line. There's, okay, I said, we didn't come about 2 years ago. I said, yeah, half. Of course, other considerations. The money was good.
The money was good.
Oh, baby, it was good. Oh, yeah.
So money was talking at that time.
There was money. There was adventure. And there was trying your hands at something new. It wasn't sexy at the time. So it was a very huge leap of faith. It's paid off, hasn't it? I'm back on television, English television.
Speaking English.
Speaking English. So it's paid off. And subsequent to that, loads of other stations and broadcasting houses started doing broadcasting on FM in Lakan. Some have done Ghana, some have done Gadangme, Hausa, Dagbani, and I think it was a revolution. And I'm happy that a lot of others have followed that path. When we started it out, it was a 50-50 chance. You either sink or swim. Luckily, we swam.
You swam.
And others have also followed.
Did you have any regrets when you started?
No. Looking back, I don't think I had any regrets. I kind of felt we'll be fine. It was uncharted territory, because apart from GBC One, which was broadcasting in local language, there really was no other thing like that. And Professor Openye Jikum, who's a regular on my show, was also doing something on Radio Universe. He was actually the first person who started a newspaper review in Akan. Most people don't know this.
Okay.
And so I was like, and we had a lot of traction when we connected with taxi drivers, trotro drivers, market women, regular everyday people. And then they all started, they began to find a home, a broadcast home that, okay, we can discuss national issues in a language we understand. And so the traction was just going like that, And it became something to look out for. I remember when Mr. Osafo Mafu became finance minister the year after, and he granted me his first in-studio interview. It was fascinating. He also speaks very fluent Twi. Here's a man who knows his stuff and is breaking it down in a language everybody understands. And so we started shooting for the major interviews, competing with everybody else, as if language was no longer a barrier.
Yeah.
And then others were like, yay, these people are doing something good.
We need to start.
Let's start. And then all the others came in.
Let me ask you this before I go to my next main question. You know, there were speculations, there were gossips going round that for you to have accepted the offer to move to Peace FM, you were going to be given shares in the company. So today, let's get to know.
It's not true.
It's not true?
No. You know, when you work in the public space for as long as I have, and as long as you have, I'm sure you realize that Ghana for nkansah, we like to gossip, we like to say things we have absolutely no idea about and pass it off as truth. And we'll swear that we were there or we heard or we know.
So you don't co-own Peace FM?
No, I don't. I am an employee.
Even till now, you don't co-own?
Well, maybe as my colleague quickly about, maybe I'm a Lionel Messi.
They can't let you go.
Yeah, but I don't own Barcelona. So I don't own it, no.
Right.
But I happen to be one of the influential people there, both on and off radio. But no, I don't own it. Okay. No, I don't have any shares. I also look forward to my salary at the end of the month. I'm sure you don't believe it, but it's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So help me God. Let's talk about how radio has changed over the years. When you started, things were different. Now it's not the same.
Radio has evolved. Personally, I'm happy it's evolved, except that I think we have not, standards have not been adhered to. Basic broadcasting, journalism, media standards. First of all, I think we have too many radio stations, way too many. And unfortunately, the kind of quality that you expect from radio usually sometimes is very suspect, unless we don't want to be truthful. But I love the evolution. I like the fact that it provides a platform for people, first of all, to showcase their talent, exhibit what they can do. It provides an avenue for information dissemination. It goes to areas that previously would not have had the magic of radio.
Right.
And so I love that. It's easier now for people to say, I heard it on radio. But in reverse, it is also dangerous.
Very true.
Because the kinds of stuff that go out could be very dangerous.
So how do we care about that? I mean, the numbers, because it's going to increase if something is not done about it.
Unfortunately, I think when we shot out, we did not have rules and regulations properly done or set, because it was virgin area. And so it was, as they say, matra makwe. Let's give it a shot and see. And so by the time we woke up, there probably were too many. Most of them political, because you have members of parliament owning radio stations, other politicians, ministers of state, business associates of politicians. Let's be honest about it. So everybody feels that, oh, let me give a bit to my party people or to people I'm close to. And so there's a political aspect of it. And then there are those who went into it as a commercial venture, purely a business venture. And so in that, between the two of them, somewhere in there, we should have found proper broadcasting content and standards to guide. Unfortunately, we did not. And we still have not really. And so sometimes things you hear on radio is atrocious, to say the least. You know, we have a media commission. We have a GJA. We have Media Foundation for West Africa. We have other media watchers, but I don't know what can be done. Unfortunately, we have, what's the other one? The broadcast group. Oh, I can't remember now. Anyway, when I remember. So you ask yourself, what really are the standards anybody just gets up and goes on.
It's beginning to look like money. If you can afford it, that's it.
Yeah, but you see, even if it's money, you can afford it, do it. I think there should be some basic standards we should all follow.
Yep.
You know, for those of us who are in urban areas mostly, we probably have no idea how horrible it can be when you go out of our comfort zone and you hear some things on radio in rural or semi-rural areas. You're like, what? That's what they're using radio for. But who's watching the watchman?
Control.
Who's watching the watchman? So yes, it is good that we have plural media, but we should have some standards to go with it.
You know, when you were at Radio Gold, people thought you belonged to the NDC.
Happens all the time.
When you came to Peace FM, people think you belong to MPP.
Happens all the time.
Everybody has a political party they love. How have you managed to keep that out of the public domain?
Because I'm not a politician. I'm a journalist. I'm a media practitioner. I'm a broadcaster. Even the Electoral Commissioner votes for Party A or Party B.
Yeah.
So my prime footing out there is not politics. It's not about whether I like Party A or I like Party B. For me, it's totally irrelevant. I am here to do my job, do it to the best of my ability. Somebody will say, oh, are you neutral? No, I'm not neutral. I'm fair. I am as fair as I can to the issues on the table, to what we're discussing. But I cannot be neutral. It's, as you know, there's this quotation that is attributed to the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He says, if a mouse and an elephant were in a fight, and you said you were neutral, as far as the mouse is concerned, you're on the side of the elephant.
Right.
Yes, because it's such a mismatch. If you will not speak about it or speak against this fight, and you look at us and you say you're neutral. So you cannot be neutral. You can only be fair. I've kept it out, as I mentioned, because that is not my prime responsibility. That is not my focus. Election time, we'd all vote, wouldn't we?
Well, I'm learning. I must.
Yama owi akwa baba Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College a school power ya TV so any radio so dwumadie. Ya so ye e Kumase atonsu. Baby a uwo bia opese ba Mansa Media College a. Na be hu dwumadie yedi ne hono a. Yentie dwumadie yedi no Mansa Media College.
Se usua bribi wo media mu. Ana opese ohunu bibi biara efa media ho enso eche kra
Mansa Media College e wo homa
ye wa atwetwefo a wakwadire yie wa adetwem na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam wonsam twem no ye twe bibi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinitwa ni bebura ekeka ho wa multimedia mu nso ye twe bibi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebura ekeka ho yebetumi nso aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahudie adwuma ahodo nyinaa mu esanse ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara ye ma ya adesuafo kwan ma okọ yode ya twe won adesua dan mu no
ahwefo ehu ekame ese obi biara wo le bosomtwe ase enim abakosema efa nsuo ihu menya abofra kitu bi wo ha ono so se onim abakosema efa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafo ye mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra son se ye the trending issues near koso ewo abefo tentan fidie ni so ebesomo midin na naje wa akode
Mansa Media College ya ma de we hia bia wo nkutahudie mu